Hello YouTube, Chris here. Gonna show you guys how to add an image to like a game that you're making in Swift. Okay. So the first thing you need to do, also we'll get started. So the first thing you need to do is open up your Xcode and click New Project. I already did that. So then what you want to do is going to come up to this screen right here, and we're going to use Swift. Okay, SpriteKit and Swift. Alright, so just select Game, make sure it's iOS application, Game. Hit Next. I'm just going to call mine Tutorial. Tutorial. Okay, I have it on the iPhone. Game technology is going to be SpriteKit, and the language is going to be Swift. Alright, and we're going to click Next. Save it wherever you like. And it's going to come up to this screen right here. Okay, so we're going to do this on, let's say, a landscape mode. So we're going to get rid of portrait right here. Okay, and another thing you can do is you can go to I didn't do that. Supporting files, info, plist, and then supported interface orientations. Okay, you can just, let me see, make sure the other one. Okay, that's already done. Item 0. Okay, so they already want to make sure these are in landscape right here. Okay, alright, so let's go back and let's build and run. It starts out with a default, kind of like a default screen type of deal. It'll say hello world, okay, and it displays the nodes, how many nodes are on this screen. In this case there's only one node, and then 60 frames per second. Now if I click on anywhere on the screen, you'll see that the nodes are just things that are on your screen. I have one node, or two nodes. I have two nodes, still 60 frames per second. And I can keep clicking 3 nodes, 4 nodes, 5 nodes, 6 nodes, 7 nodes, on and up. And the more nodes I put on here, or the more sprites I put on here, you'll notice the lower the frames per second. Okay, so the more things are going on, the lower your frames per second. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and stop that. Okay, and then I guess we'll go ahead and get started here. Okie dokie. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is go into GameScene.Swift. Okay, this is your scene, and you have this game view controller.swift. That kind of controls your scene. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in here, and then we're pretty much going to delete all this stuff. Okay, let's just get rid of all these comments here. Well, you don't really have to delete the import SpriteKit, because we're going to use that. Alright, so then we're going to go ahead and type, as I type here, game scene, and then the S, it's going to be, we got a class game scene, and it's going to be of type SK scene. Okay? Alright, open and close curly brackets here. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we got that down. Now we're going to have to type this override method, because it requires us to override function here. Override function did move to view. Okay, so this is going to be like some setup stuff right here. Alright, SK view, SK view. So this is just pretty much setting up what we see on our scene. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and type in our background color. Background color equals SK color Okay, dot, and we'll make a I don't know, might even like a white color. Okay. Alright, so we got that. And so basically this whole viewDidLoad function right here, what it does is SpriteKit calls it before it'll present your scene. So this is where we're going to do it. This is where you do a little bit of initial setup on things. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, so over here you'll see we have a game scene.sks, and this is something that SpriteKit pretty much creates automatically. It's kind of so you can visually set up your scene. Well, we're just gonna go ahead and delete that right now. So we can go right click that, delete, and then we're gonna go ahead and move it to the trash can. Okie dokie. Alright. Go to GameViewController.swift. Okay, and then we're just pretty much gonna get rid of a whole bunch of stuff here. Get rid of all that. And we'll create a new class. And it'll be a Game View Controller. Game View Controller. Okay. UI View Controller. Let's see. UI View. There it is. UI View Controller. Okay. Open quotation, close quotes, and we'll start in here. Let me go ahead and type some of this stuff out real quick. Okay, this is what I got so far here. Got GameViewController class, it inherits from UIViewController. Okay, got an override function of viewDidLoad. So we're overriding viewDidLoad, but we're going to use the viewDidLoad from the super viewDidLoad. So we're going to be using here what I'm trying to say is we're going to use this viewDidLoad function right here. From what I'm understanding is the UIViewController requires you to override the viewDidLoad, but then right below it. So here's the thing: sometimes you'll see a self dot this or a super dot that. Well, what's going on is if you put self, it's going to use the function or variable or whatever you're using of what's in the actual program right here. Now, if you used a super.viewDidLoad, then it's going to use the parent class's methods and variables. Okay, and in this case, UIViewController is using that. So that's how I understand it. Anyway, if you got a better explanation, you can leave it in the comments below. Okay, now we got a let scene equal game scene. Okay, so we're just pretty much setting the size to 2048 pixel width, and our height will be 1536 pixels. We got let skView equals self.view as skView. So it's kind of typecasting it. Whenever you see something like that, it's kind of presenting it as that. I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyway, we'll keep going. Alright. let's see. Oops, I have to do that. Here. And okay, so let's go down here. Let's see. SKView dot show. What is it? Let's see. Show FPS. SKView dot. Did I spell that wrong? SKView. I did spell it wrong. Look at there. I'm stupid. Alright, skview.show. I still spelled it wrong. Let's see. Maybe. Alright, show FPS equals true. Okay. So before, when you saw the frames per second down here, this is your way of turning it on, turning it off of the frames per second. Now, if you put a game in production, you probably want to have that off. But for testing purposes, for your game, you want to kind of see where your frames are at. Okay, skview dot show node. Why is it filling in for me? I gotta type all this stuff. Show node count. Okay, show node count equals true. Alright, just remember I clicked on the spaceships, and the more spaceships, the higher the node count increased. Okay, let's go ahead here, and then let's go skview dot ignore sibling order. There we go. Now I can do some stuff. Ignore sibling order. That equals true, and that has something to do with let's say you have a background image, and you have your little character, your hero, and your enemies. Well, you want to make sure that the background is all the way in the back. Okay, so, and your little sprite characters are in front of that. So that has something to do with that. Okay, let's see. Scene dot scale mode equals dot aspect fill. Okay. Okay, then we're going to do present scene here. skview dot present scene. And then what scene are we going to present? We're going to present this scene right here, game scene, which is this guy right here, which there's nothing in right now. We didn't really put anything in, so I guess we changed the color to white. So if we ran this, oops, what do we got here? Okay, let me go ahead and debug this real quick. Give me a second. Okay, well, it's easy. I just misspelled it, that's all. Okay. And then this one should be like that. Okay, so let's go ahead here. And we'll continue on here. Okay, so when I say, okay, skview.present scene, present this scene right here, which we defined up here, like I said earlier, with this size. Alright, so I guess we could try to build and run it and see what happens. Build succeeded, and there it is. This is our screen right here. There's, like I said, but there's nothing in it. So let's go ahead and put something in it then. Alright, so we'll cancel out of that guy. And then we're going to go and find some images to stick in there. So I've got one image right now, and what I did was I just went over here to my image. Since this is a folder right where you can stick your images, you can see, okay, there's the spaceship that they used in the initial setup. Don't really need that anymore. Some app icons, and here's the image I dragged in. So you just highlight images, and it's Xcode assets. Images XX, whatever, how you want to say it. And then you just drag your image over in here and it'll show up. I already did it, so. Alright, anyway. Alright, so let's go back to GameScene.Swift and let's get this image to display. So we'll go let background. So we're creating a constant variable here. Let background equal SKS sprite node. Okay, and that's node that's gonna take a image. So image named. Okay, well that'll be, if we look over here, it'll be this one. And you don't have to put an extension in there because Xcode is smart enough to be able to find it. So all we got to do is, but we do have to put it in quotes. Between quotations, so there. Alright, and sometimes it does that. Alright, so we have a constant variable named background that holds a SK sprite node named image. Alright. So if we built and ran it and run it, we still have a blank screen. Okay. So we'll stop that. Now, the way to add this sprite node is add child. And what child do we want to add? Well, it's going to be our background image. So we just pass that in. And it might not see it. We'll see here. Alright, so it doesn't see it. And it doesn't see it because it could be down here, it could be over here, it's somewhere around here, it just doesn't have a position. So we got to give it a position. So let us do that. So in between, ahead of the add child, we're going to go background dot position, okay, equals, we're going to make this a CG, equals CG point, okay, and that CG point is going to be kind of like in this format right here, so we got to give it 2 points, okay. So the first one is going to be let's see, size dot width divided by 2. Okay. And the next one is going to be size dot height. So it takes a float, size dot height divided by 2. Okay, and let's see how that works for us. Alright. And there's our background image right here. Okay. And you can see that it put it kind of, you know, down at the bottom. That's the way the image is. It's just a pain here. So it placed it the way it should have placed it. Okay, so let's get out of that and let's see about adding some more images. I might go ahead and change the background color to black though. Background color to black. Black color. Get rid of that. There we go. Let's see how that looks. Because we're going to add a moon in here. Okay. Alright. Looks a little bit better. And you can change that color to anything you like. Okie dokie. So let me go find the moon image. Alright guys, let's change it up a little bit, and let's add this in. Let's do this instead. Let's say background. Let's see, background dot anchor position, anchor point. It starts out with an anchor point in the middle of the image, so we're gonna move that anchor point to the bottom left. Okay, so anchor point equals CG point 0. CG point, what it is down here, CG point 0. So let's see, let's build it around and see what happens. I'm just curious. Yeah, see, now we changed the anchor point because this is 0, 0 down here at the bottom of the screen. You know, 0x, 0y on up, okay? So what we did with the image, though, is we put an anchor point, so everything that this image does is going, its point of reference is where it used to be the middle of the image is now here. So this is 0, 0 for the image. Alright, 0, 0 for our screen is still over here. So now we need to move this down here. And how we're going to do that is just by getting rid of this guy right here and replace it with the same thing we did right here. So I'm just going to copy and command V for paste. Okay. Get rid of that error there, and let's go ahead and run it again. Now that image should be right where we want it. Okay. Alright, which it is. Alright, so, okay, let's go ahead and let's, thinking about changing that. Well, it'll be okay. I'm going to add some stars, I think, now to the image. Okay, so it's pretty much going to be similar, except for one little thing. Let's go ahead and add some stars. So I'm going to say let stars equal sk sprite node. And it's going to be image named. It takes a string. And the image, our image Xcode assets stars right there. So we'll go back in here, get rid of that error there. And we're just going to type in stars. Now it's probably, well, let me do that there too. I could just copy all this over, Command C, just change it up so I don't have to type so much. Stars, stars, and stars. Okay, alright. Now these stars are probably going to be covering our background. So somehow we got to move our land in front of those stars. Actually, the stars probably should have been the background, but oh well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to mess with the z-axis. So this going up and down. Well, let me pull it back out. Let me run it. Okay. So going up and down, this is our y-axis, which 0 would be here, and then it would count up, and then we start getting negative y going this way. And then going this way is our x-axis, with 0 being here, and then counting up into positive. And then if we went over this way, it'd be counting negative x. Well, we also have a z. And the z is going in towards you, out towards your screen, kind of. Okay, so it's kind of like a three-dimensional deal. So that's what we need to do. We need to give it a z position. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so what we gotta do here is go down here to stars. So we want to move the stars behind the the land background, the background. So we're gonna go type in stars dot z position equals -1. That way, when it boots up, it'll automatically go. The stars go behind the land, as you can see right there. Okay, so starting to look pretty decent. All right, let's go ahead and close out of that, and let's go check out the moon now. All right, so let me find our moon. Okay, so let's see. Let's go here. We're gonna add our moon image. Let moon. You're starting to see a pattern. So we create a constant variable, and we set that equal to a SpriteKit node with moon in it. Okay. Oops. Alright. So now, next thing you need to do, just like before, we're going to go moon dot, let's see, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't think I want to change the anchor point of that one. We'll see. We may mess with it a little bit. But this one, we're going to, let me think. I don't know. Let me think about it for a second here. Alright, let's just see what we can do here. Okay, so moon dot position will equal CG. I'm not gonna use CG.0. I'm actually gonna use just gonna play around with the positioning until we get it to look right. Okay, let's see. What was our thing here? So let's put that width. Let's move it to about, I don't know, let's say 1600. Let's move it to about 1600. That way it kind of comes off the screen a little bit. And the height, that, so I'm going to put that height at about 800. Let's try 800. 800. Okay. Alright, so we got a position that may work pretty good. I'm not going to, let me see, the stars were way behind there. Alright, let's see, so let's just check it out and see what it looks like. Here we go, add child, and then we're going to add moon. Okay, let's see what it looks like here. Alright, that's not what I wanted. Let's see, I got moon here, moon. What is the name of our... Oh, see, I misspelled it. It's MOON. It's case sensitive. So let's go back here. And... or else I could just go to my ImageX and then change the wording on that. Change the spelling on that. Let's run that again. And there's our moon. Okay. Not really how I wanted it to look. I want it to be behind the ground here. So let's go and play with some more Z positioning. Okay, so let's go back here. And let's see. So our stars are -1. Our ground. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so what we're going to do here is before the add child, where we add the background for the background sprite, we're going to put background.z position equals 2. So that's the one that's closest to us. Then the moon will be added. And then after that, the one furthest away from us will be the stars. Okay? So let's go ahead and add that in, and there we go. We can, yeah, it doesn't look too bad right there. Probably, you can position the moon any way you like it. But, let's see, I might move that a little bit further over. Maybe about 1,000, maybe. Let's try that out. I could go up a little bit more. Oh, yeah, I moved it up. Jeez, I need to move it over. Oh, alright, I'll move it over a little bit more. Let's try 1800. So moving it on the x-axis to the right, and I moved it up on the y. Alright, looks a little bit better. Alright, well, that's how you add images in SpriteKit Xcode, and I hope this helped out a little bit. If you got any better suggestions on how to do stuff, leave comments below. I'm always up for learning new things. Alright, thanks, bye.